Why?
I don't know, because I was looking up the Daily Live game and it was a visual novel, and I was like, I wonder what visual novels there are out there. Are there any that are good? Oh,
Yeah,
let's see.
you.
There's Danganronpa. Played all those games. Phoenix Wright.
Now that you say it, visual novels is disappointingly probably the appropriate venue for Data Live, even though I feel like an actual video game might do pretty well for that.
I'm pretty sure there's multiple games with different genres for them. It's just the one that I found was a visual novel one.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, let's be real, most of them probably didn't come to the West anyway, so it's kind of moot.
Probably. Let me find. Let's see. There's Data Live, Rio Reincarnation, which is the only one I'm able to find on Steam. I think the other ones are on PS4 or something.
Hmm. Well,
It's
if
usually
they're
where you
on
get
PS4, then they got censored to fuck, so they're not worth playing.
Thanks, PS4. Thanks, Sony.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to Fandom Flux 322.
It's like
I'm not really sure what I have to add from last week, whatever.
I haven't started the recording yet.
Oh, you were trying. You were trying to sneak in, but you
I'm
didn't.
1000% lying. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fandom Flux
Oh,
podcast. Patient sniped me, but it's fine. It's cool. All right. So,
It's getting a lot easier as time goes by for me to hear the subtle little click of you pressing the recording button, Casey. You're not particularly subtle about it.
That's true.
It's true.
Also, I do more to actually engage in conversation if we're recording.
I
I'm
know.
practically silent
Otherwise,
if we're not.
otherwise you just kind of. I'm tired. I want to go back to sleep.
I'm awake
And
today.
he still feels that way.
Yeah. This is not me putting it on. I am actually very awake today because I've been awake for like 8 hours only. So. It is a nice Sunday, mostly for having actually caught up on my commissions that I fell behind on, because it turns out when you take a break for 2 weeks, it takes a little bit to get the engine to turn over. So,
You don't say.
yeah, who'd have thought, huh? Yeah, I didn't really.
It's a lovely Sunday for me, too. Church was canceled today because of a power outage at the building that may or may not, just a thought, have something to do with the fact that it's snowing.
Maybe. Might do.
It's beginning to look a lot like snow.
January.
Everywhere you go.
For the record, snow here is a very rare occurrence.
Oh, it's snowing in Texas. Like it is
Yeah,
snowing
Central
everywhere.
Texas. I mean, a few hours north of here, snow is expected. But here, maybe once or twice every 5 years.
Mm. Well, crazy weather will happen more often nowadays for reasons. Putting that aside, yeah. So it's cool, literally and figuratively, and it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on in the general chat.
I was tagged because I was being called out for giving up on the trash genre of isekai, which I still technically have not. I just look for the good ones.
Mm, I
Which
mean,
there are.
it's
I'm just not as inclined to share my thoughts on the bad ones that I still consume, looking for the good ones.
yeah. It at this point, it's like trying to dig up a truffle in a pile of shit. Really.
Because
So
there's some like junk food isekai out there, and then there's like the actual stuff that is writing.
it's fucking harsh.
So, you gotta look.
Yeah. So, like I say, I'll do mine because it's probably going to be pretty quick.
Okay, go for it.
It's been freezing as fuck for a while. Blizzards and snow and blizzards and everything's frozen. Kind of clearing up now, so that's kind of cool. I will be able to order stuff online again. Yay. The beginning of this week was a little rough because it was hard to get motivated to write, even though I enjoyed what I was writing. But somehow my workflow has gotten a bit squiffy. Who can imagine? Again, after like 2 weeks off, just hard to arrange my time appropriately. But I managed. I'm at 10,000 words for the week so far 11,000 words for the week so far from 2 commissions. Still have to do my Patreon chapter, but it's an easy one, thankfully. I know what I'm doing for it, so can just get it knocked out. And then we're back to the beginning, where I have 2 commissions and a Patreon chapter to do, but that's going to be my life for the next 3 months or so. So, it's fine. I'll get used to it again. Just take a bit. I have played only a little bit more of Yakuza 2 Kiwami, but it's still fun.
Okay.
Majima continues to be the best part of the series. He is fantastic, and I got to sing karaoke with him, and that was fun. And depressing, because the karaoke in that game is still consistently depressing no matter what you do with it. So yeah, I didn't really get how bleak the karaoke videos where it sort of transfers to a fantasy land or does flashbacks of things from the story of the game so far, and watching Shenpai doing that and literally crying was eye-opening. Like, holy shit, okay. Yep. That's still fun. I'm hoping to get to play more of that as time goes on. I still really should probably be playing Persona 5 instead, but it's still a pain in the ass because of the wanting to max everything. But I'll get to it. Because, that is still my commission that I have to do first next week. Anyway, other thing I have been doing is not playing Genshin, because that event was bullshit, and it made me stop playing the game for a while.
I've also not been playing Genshin.
Yeah.
That's because that game is kind of trash now, with some of the decisions they've been making.
Yeah. I logged into it, found I was still at that stupid event boss fight that is broken for so many reasons. Had to wait to let it kill me because it was a story mission. I never beat it in the story, let alone as part of the event. And after that, I looked at my messages and they're like, hey, why don't you fill in a survey to tell us how we did with this event? Oh, yes, please. I have some things to say. And I was like, yeah, that fucking Braid-style boss fight was absolutely terrible. Oh, please give us 3 reasons why you think that the raid boss fight was terrible. And I look at the list, and I could literally say all of them if they would let me, and that's what I put in extra notes. I would have said all of these reasons if you would let me for why this boss fight was shit. Yeah, so that was... And I haven't touched it since, so that's fine. Because of someone on another server, I gave Azure Lane another chance, and yeah, that game's okay. I'm probably going to play it casually, because...
I used to play that game a lot.
Yeah. It would probably take me months of constant playing to actually catch up to everything in that game. So,
They added so much
There is
in
so much
such
in
a
that
short
game.
span of time.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do a slow burn on that one because I'm not. I mean, they're boats, and I know nothing about boats or ships. Uh, so it's like, oh, you're coming out with this one. Cool.
Cool.
Um. All right, I'm just gonna keep playing the game then. Nice design though. It's good, I guess. Yeah, it's not one where I'd be like, oh my god, I love this character, I want them now, because that's not really the kind of game it is. So. Yeah, but I'm having fun with it. It's very very light bullet hell. I would like to get into more bullet hells because, based on how much I enjoyed Nier and aspects of Hades that had that sort of thing, yeah, I probably enjoy that kind of game, even though I'm not very good at it. So I might try some more of those. Like, Enter the Gungeon
play
seems
some
like
of that.
a good one.
Yeah, I was gonna recommend the original Toho games.
No. Well, I might try them. It depends on how, like, it would depend on a lot of things. Like,
there's difficulty modes.
Yeah. It could be fun. I understand those games are kind of short. And it's like, hey, play it on harder difficulties and with, like, stuff and things like that.
They are 5 stages long. But if you play it on the harder difficulties, you get additional stages typically.
Yeah, like it's a sort of an arcadey game. There we go, words.
Yeah, but it's fun to just mess around in.
Yeah. I mean, there's also Binding of Isaac, but I hate the aesthetic of that game. It makes it difficult to play.
It's very ugly.
Yeah, it is
very
grotesque.
purposefully ugly.
Yeah, and if you're into that, then fine. But if you have trouble with that, it's gonna really detract from the experience, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty solid built game. But yeah. Have I done anything else? I don't think I've done much else. I feel like I played something on Steam, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe I bought something on Steam? I don't fucking remember. It's fine. I didn't really do anything else, I don't think. Read some stuff because I had some time, but that's about it.
Well, in that case, so I was, me and my dad were going through, me and my dad and my mom, basically emptied out my grandpa's storage space of everything of seemingly value, because he has a lot of trash just in there. And we took it home. Among those things included a sewing machine, a replica rifle of the one that he used when he was in the army, but it's a BB gun. A broken guitar. Well, the strings are broken. It can be fixed. Totally fine.
Yeah, you can reach.
Casio keyboard, along with a keyboard stool thing, and countless boxes and pictures and 5 locked cases, like suitcases sort of things.
Okay.
Kind of like briefcases, actually.
One of those is one you're not going to want to open, but you're not.
We opened all of them.
Oh boy.
One of them had a lot of blueprints and work stuff.
Okay.
Pretty ordinary. Another had work supplies and other things from when my grandpa, he was an engineer. So just stuff like that. Smelled, so some sort of material in it must have been way past expiration. Another one had numerous cassettes with various self-help titles, as well as stuff like how to hypnotize yourself, how to astral project, how to develop psychic powers, and how to find love after divorce.
Oh.
So a wide variety of things. So we're going through these, and then we get to one, and my dad opens it. He says, "Holy crap!" And I look inside, and I see a lot of very realistic-looking airsoft guns, as well as this large knife in this holster. I currently have it in my hands. It's from Spain. It's from Mexico, with Spanish on it. It says, "Como me las dan, las tomo, y si son peras, me las como." If I give them, I take them, and if they are pears, I eat them.
Okay.
Or as I give them, I take them, something like that. Or as give and take, and I eat pears, basically. And he has this whole, because my grandpa loved cowboys and everything, right? And he has this like whole cowboy belt holster thing, and then we open up one, and there's a box inside, and it says 1886 Peacemaker revolver replica. And we open it up, and there is a Peacemaker revolver with .45 caliber bullets.
Cool.
Not he just had this gun, which I believe to be a real gun, locked away in this briefcase with all these BB guns.
Well,
and a knife.
I mean, he put all of the potentially dangerous stuff in one place. That makes some amount of sense.
It's a beautiful knife. Good for cutting pears.
I assume. It sounds like it was purpose-built.
But yeah, it's just wild. The amount of just stuff he had stored in that storage space. It was so thick in there when we first opened it up, you could not actually enter the storage space. In fact, even after we cleared it out, it still was tough. Because he would do things like put in bags filled with bags and just empty boxes in case he ever needed them to return the thing.
Yeah, you never know when you need a bag or a box. My mom does the same thing.
Except that this stuff was like decades old.
Yeah, that's because you forget about it, though. That's why.
It's just, oh, gosh.
And then you're like, oh no, I don't have any bags. I better start collecting them just in case I run out of bags. So you get more bags of bags.
And then sometimes there's just literally bags of trash in there as well. It's just madness. But we got everything out of there that was important. Which is good. It's been a long project to get that done. I also recently I think did I mention that I watched season 3 of Cobra Kai? I think I did, yeah.
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, I finished up season 1 of the show Titans.
Is that the...
That's the Teen Titans one. Except they're not teens. They're adults.
No, and fuck Batman. Literally a line in the show.
When I remember when that trailer first came out, and it gave me a really bad taste in my mouth.
How is it actually?
Oh, it's good. It's actually good. Like, I was enjoying watching it. It's not the same as the Teen Titans that you know in any way. There's a lot of creative liberties that are taken, but the story that it's telling is well told. I like the characters. I like their take on Beast Boy is actually fairly close to regular Beast Boy. Robin in this, the reason why he's saying, Fuck Batman is because he's a bit messed up from being trained how to harm and fight people from a young age. And he never fully dealt with the issues of my parents were murdered. And so this is a Robin who has quit being Robin because it made him into a violent person. And then he gets pulled into all of this, and he has to kind of be Robin again and try to help this girl, because he's working as a police officer now. Is his thing, trying to help people the legal way. And Raven is kind of the main thing of everything's going on with her, with her father and people going after her not knowing how to use her powers, because this is a very young Raven. She's like 15. But I recommend it. You got to divorce it a little bit from kind of your thoughts of...
Yeah.
Think of it as different continuity.
It sounds a lot like they're doing what the DC universe, the cinematic universe, tends to do, which is strip a lot of the superhero genre of its optimism.
I wouldn't
Initially,
say that necessarily.
From what it sounds like Robin did not become traumatized, and they're doing a lot of reality ensues, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. It's a sort of... It's a different continuity of events, which with comic books, honestly, that happens all the time. So just take it that way, and you should be able to get some enjoyment out of it. I personally think it was great. I just liked watching it and seeing what they were doing and how these characters would get to where they're going. Because like when Beast Boy first shows up, he can only transform into like a tiger. That's the only thing he has access to. Which, with the possibility of that eventually growing, as they're all kind of growing into their roles.
Just as a thing I would do with that, if I were writing the show, I would be like, yeah, he can only transform into a tiger. Why a tiger? Because tigers are fucking cool, and I wanted to turn into a tiger, so I worked on that. And that's the only reason. He's got to work on everything else, but he really wanted to be a fucking tiger.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, there's another season. I kind of want to get a look at that. Where's this? We can get a link for this. For Titans. I think that's on Netflix.
I thought it might have been Amazon, but I don't know.
Or Amazon. No, I think it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
If I can find it.
Titans 2018
I'll
TV
have to double check.
series.
No, it might be on Amazon.
It is... that's all the credits that I don't care about. It's Warner Brothers. Released on HBO Max originally.
Oh, HBO Max. I think that's what we were watching it on, because the DC moved everything onto HBO Max.
Yeah, it used to be on DC Universe and then was moved to HBO Max for season 3.
Yeah. So watch it via HBO Max or
other methods.
You have access to other methods that may be,
There
all
are
right.
ways.
But yeah, it was a lot better than I was expecting. because I had come into it with a negative view of it because I really like the original Teen. I like the Teen Titans cartoon, and I never actually read the comics, and so I had a lot of nostalgia for that. But I've matured enough to the point where if something is starkly different from the material that I know, I'll give it a fair shot.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, that's good. Been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima. I've made it to Act 2. I'm about to end Act 2. I'm finishing up the map and everything. That game is really fun. And beautiful. As you are getting all your different ghost weapons and stuff, you go from the point where just fighting a few guys can be tough to being, I'm parrying this guy, turning around, shooting an arrow at that archer, then going back to parrying this guy, throwing a sticky bomb at the guy in the back to take out his friends, and then activating my Dance of Wrath to dash around and just instantly take out 3 guys. Feel like a freaking anime character.
Maybe a little Batman Arkham style, a little bit.
Not quite. It's very easy to still get hit because there are some attacks which are unblockable, and some attacks which are only blockable by parries once you unlock the upgrade for that. So you got to be kind of careful with how you're going into things. So when you're dealing with a large group of enemies, it quickly becomes use everything that you have right now. And you have special techniques that you can spend your resolve points for, which is kind of like a series of small little balls that fill up as you kill enemies and do other things.
Your specials.
And those can be spent. Yeah, that you can spend those to heal yourself or to use special technique. The 2 techniques I have unlocked are the Dance of Wrath and the Heavenly Strike. The Heavenly Strike is like a dash forward, like side slash through an enemy, and it's an unblockable attack, and it's the classic, samurai movie technique.
Yeah, samurai cut through kind of thing.
Then the Dance of Wrath, which is dash and slash to up to 3 different enemies at like a lightning fast speed, and that can potentially kill those 3 enemies just on the spot. But to do that, you need to spend 3 resolve, which is very costly. So you kind of have to build up to that and then just do that. Or you can use all 3 of them on a single target to just really screw with them. And there's lots of sword duels where it's like, okay, we're stealing off all your abilities except sword abilities. This is a sword fight. We're having a sword fight. Do a sword fight. Parry, block, dodge. And I'm like, yay. It's a sword fight. I got my butt kicked by some of them. But eventually I got it. And getting all the new gear. And then I found the Black Dye Merchant, who's this guy in a cave making his family's secret recipe, black dye. He's like, walk in the shadows, samurai. And I'm like, okay, wearing black clothes now. Let's go. I'm the ghost of Tsushima. I'm just excited. It's fun. And you gotta... There's all these different quests. I wish I could talk a little bit more about spoilers, but like, there's a few characters that are just, boy, are they kind of just awful people. You kind of, I'm doing your quest line, sir, and you kind of brought this all on yourself.
Yeah. I look forward to getting PS5 and just having my eyes bleed from the beauty of it, frankly.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Even on PS4, it's so beautiful.
I mean, yeah, but my PS4 is a chugger at this point. It's just not really like Kiwami 2. I play it and it sounds like a jet engine constantly. Like it.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds like that on mine.
Yeah. So I'll wait and play it backwards compatible, I think.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just every time I unlock a new upgrade, like I got the grappling hook, which just instantly opens up a lot of options. Of just, I'm gonna move around and ninja and get on these roofs with the grappling hook, and then you can only do it on preset points, but typically there's always a few of them, especially later on in the game, in every enemy camp for you to maneuver, so you can stealth your way through it. Though at this point, I've gotten strong enough to where I can just kind of do the full samurai thing and walk in my full samurai armor and be like, "Come out and fight me," which has its own appeal.
I want to play it so bad. It's on the list. It's on the fucking list.
Okay, one other thing that's really cool. So one of the first ghost weapons you get is the kunai, right? So you can throw two of them, and they kind of, if there are enemies in front of you, each one will strike a different enemy and either stun them, will stun them and deal damage, and if the kunai are powerful enough, they'll instantly kill them. Now, you can get an upgrade to have those kunai deal double damage, and now you throw an additional kunai. So you throw 3. Then you get an optional charm you get from doing this hard fight, so that whenever you throw kunai, you throw an additional 2 kunai. So I'm just throwing 5 kunai at a time, and I'm going from broken down samurai who just washed up on a beach, who's just like lying in his own blood on the beach, to when I walk in, there is death that follows.
Good for the power fantasy then, a little bit.
Yes. And as you upgrade your armor, it changes appearance to be more badass, which I really enjoy.
Like, is it just like a straight progression, like in God of War, where the axe just kind of gets prettier and prettier, or is it like customizable?
You can customize. So you have your headband / helmet. You have your mask that you can put on. So you can put on like a demon mask, or like the mask with a giant mustache.
Oh,
looks all crazy.
Like the
right?
no masks kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have different masks and stuff you can put on. You can put on like these cool looking straw hats, helmets. And then you have the body gear. The body gear is what gives you stats. Like, say, for example, there's one set of samurai armor which greatly increases... It basically reduces damage to you and gives you a huge boost to your health because you're actually wearing armor. Whereas another set is the Ronin set, which gives you a few... it makes it harder for enemies to detect you, and then also gives you a huge bonus to melee attacks in terms of damage. So each one kind of has its own separate benefit. The Traveler's Attire, which is the one you'll probably be using a lot, increases the percentage by which you fill out your map as you're traveling across the land. It also helps you find artifacts easier and records, which are like written lore and everything.
Yes. Sorry, the inner completionist in me is having a very nice time right now.
It's very easy to complete this. You can actually get upgrades with your technique points to make it so that you can just go and find these places by the wind directing you towards them. It's like, I want to unlock the ability to just track down hot springs so that I can get the max HP boosts from them, like first thing. So you can set your tracker to just find all the nearest hot springs, all of them. I never bought any of those things with my technique points because I want to be better at killing things. But that's definitely, I don't know. It's been easy to complete it. The only thing that might be hard to complete are the Sashimono banners, but they're not really that important. All they do is when you collect enough, you can unlock a new type of saddle for your horse. So
like
they're just
a
gonna
better one
find
or just a different looking one?
different looking one. It's just cosmetic.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And you'll find a lot of those anyways just by clearing out camps, because every time you clear out a camp, it then fills out a huge section of the map around it. So you don't have to just scrounge through every corner. And I'm getting to the point where enemies are now heavily armored, and they also have they'll just sometimes set their weapons on fire and come at you like that. And it's like, I cannot parry their weapons because I'm going to catch on fire. I have to dodge all of their attacks. And now they're throwing explosives and shooting me with fire arrows, and so they're ramping up the stuff that they can do too.
Yeah, see, you kept coming in and being death, and they're like, well, screw that. So.
And then I got explosive arrows. But you get in. I'm at the point where I've reached an area which says, "Warning: there is an overwhelming force here." I'm like, I wonder what that means. And then I walk in, and then 50 arrows shoot me from every direction, and I start running and rolling, and I'm like, no! I remember when this was first coming out, there were like the memes on like Twitter of somebody just jumps off a roof, and then they get shot in the air for like 30 seconds and with arrows before they hit the ground. It's fun. Absolutely stunning and beautiful as well. And the game knows it. It takes plenty of time to show you the beauty of it.
Sucker Punch, a good studio.
Yeah. I was playing that game right before this podcast. It's kind of why I was a few minutes late to respond to you tagging me.
Okay.
I was playing the game. It's just nice to sink yourself into. Well, can't think of anything else to add.
Cool.
So, that's been my week.
How's it going? How you doing, buddy?
I'm alright, but like I was saying at the start, when you almost made me think that you had not started recording yet, I really haven't been up to much this week. Just a long week at work, and now a long and slow day watching the snow fall outside, which is beautiful, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I found the Power Star that I was missing in Super Mario 64.
Yay. So it's finished.
Nice.
I've moved on to Super Mario Sunshine now. I've gotten at least 40 of the Shine Sprites thus far.
Has the shine been taken off it now that you're playing it again?
No, I do.
Sorry.
It hasn't lost any of its luster. I mean, I can see some of its flaws more clearly. But no, I still think it's a good game.
Fair enough.
I've also played some more of Mario Odyssey. I finally moved on to the dark side of the moon, and
Pink Floyd was there.
after...
Pink Floyd is there.
No,
Dark side of... Yeah.
No, dark side does not resemble 4 rabbits. Yeah, go figure. I went to the dark side of the moon and I found rabbits.
I really like the dark side and subsequently the darker side.
I hear they have cookies.
I'm
just full of memes today. Fucking.
Anyway, after some effort, I finally managed to beat that boss rush. And now I'm struggling with the hint art across all of the kingdoms.
Just use a guide. It's fine.
He's not gonna.
No.
He's not gonna.
I've already found 9 out of the 10 from Dark Side of the Moon without a guide. Unless as a guide.
Which one are you missing then?
Hang on, let me think. I got the one in the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's the one in the Sand Kingdom.
Oh. Yeah, no, that would be the hard one.
Yeah. I mean, my sister helped me out with a couple of them. She pointed out a couple of things that I missed. But, yeah, we were just, I don't know what to do about the Sand Kingdom one. I'll find it eventually.
Wear a sombrero. The hearing helps.
I was the whole time.
Good man.
Anything of note aside from games? Not really, no. Yeah, it's just been a lot of Mario, that's all.
Yeah.
It's a me. Okay, which one was the I'm trying to find out which one was the one that you're talking about, because I'm curious. And was there one in the Sand Kingdom?
I mean,
Well,
he's
I
looking for
assume
it,
so. The hint art in question shows red sand on it, and I don't think that would be anywhere else.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. That one which is tough because it's the red sand with the black dirt above it, yeah?
Yes.
That is not in the Sand Kingdom.
I think I know where it might be. Which kingdom that
Okay,
is.
that helps.
There is another kingdom that has that same color of ground.
Alright. Well, I've eliminated 9 of the others, just from the fact that I've already collected those hand moons, so I guess I'll just look at the rest and see if I can find. But thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. I won't tell you where it is, because I remember I struggled for that one, but I eventually found it.
Yeah, I was considering that it might not be in the Sand Kingdom just because the sand definitely matched, but the stone or dirt or whatever did not. The top half didn't seem to match.
Given the texture, it is not, in fact, sand, I believe.
I'll find out.
I will be shush, because I think I know what it might be. But yeah.
Well, with that
Good
that little hint, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to find it before the day's out, if I try.
Probably.
Because trust me, I just want to save the pain of not having to search through the entire freaking Sand Kingdom.
Oh, I wasn't searching the entire freaking Sand Kingdom. I was searching in Quadrant C4. Would you believe that it was only when I looked at the map for that I realized that the map was divided into those quadrants in the first place?
Oh yeah, the quadrants definitely help.
Though I suppose
Especially if you're using a guide.
Which I am not.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not much else for me to say.
I have a knife.
You do.
I heard.
It's beyond compare. But
So, I suppose I'll look.
As I stretch.
I suppose I'll look at the I'll look to see what recommendation I have to share this week while Casey opens his email again. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant checks the Patreon readout.
I mean, I've had my email open for a long time. I just gave up. So, Zero. The thing's gone through, so it's Patreon
Yes,
time.
so I would like to thank our patrons for supporting us for the month. And I would like to start with thank you, Sailor of House Thunderbird, for your $1 donation. Thank you, Vale, for your $10 donation. Thank you, Buyfresh, for your $20 donation. Thank you, Ryu, for your $3.50. Thank you, Greek Guy, for your $1 donation. Thank you, Ethan F, for your $10 donation. Thank you, Bomber BCM, for your $20 donation. Thank you to the Crossbrain for your $10 donation. And thank you to Troper, Tempest Troper, for your $5 donation. I realize times are tough, but we're in 2021. Things are going to get better. Hopefully. I mean, it's not like a bunch of people stormed the Capitol building a few days ago.
Oh, God. That was a day. That was part of why I fell behind, to be perfectly honest. Because I was in the middle of writing when that started happening, and then the rest of my night was reading a fucking news ticker.
Yeah. Everybody just, what's going on? What's going to happen now? And lines were crossed. Lines were very much crossed. But enough of that. I remembered one last thing I wanted to say for something I did this week. There's a movie out called Tenet. It is about, per the synopsis, a secret agent is given a single word as his weapon and sent to prevent the onset of World War III. He must travel through time and bend the laws of nature in order to be successful in his mission. This is a thing where characters have guns that shoot bullets in reverse. So they essentially pull the bullets out of the bullet holes they are already in. As time is reversed for those bullets in particular. This was a movie that I fell asleep to.
Sounds riveting.
It has a really cool concept. But then it just kind of, the way the characters are talking and the way that it's cut, it's very quick paced and it's 2.5 hours long. So they don't take a lot of time to slow down and explain things. It's, I'm going to say something, other character is going to say something, which is them jumping to a conclusion based off something that I said. And then we're both going to just keep going on with the conclusion that was unstated as a foregone conclusion. And so my mom was lost watching it. I was lost watching it. And I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I want to give it another shot. But well, that's it.
Okay.
I want to thank everybody who donated on Patreon. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. It's not a requirement. You won't be graded. We have rewards. Nobody seems to take us up on them, but you can. Just contact us in the Discord, link below.
Very true. I don't know whether that's better or worse, to be honest.
We will gladly compensate you for compensating us. It's like Christmas. Everybody gets a present. Except for Santa Claus.
Patient, you said you had a recommendation, I think.
Yes. I could go with any number of good Persona 5 stories, but I think I'm going to mix it up this week with another really good story that I've come across. Are you familiar with the Let's Watch Our Show plot?
No.
A plot where the characters watch their own show.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Rarely done well, rarely done completely. But this one is pretty close to done. And it's very well written, I would say. I think the name tells you pretty much everything you need to know. It is School Watches Assassination Classroom.
Okay.
So the premise is that Ritsu from Class 3E travels back from a bad future to get E-Class's help in evaluating the data that she has so that they can figure out a way to prevent the world from coming to an end. But there's a miscalculation as she returns in time. So rather than coming in the spring after some of the big revelations are taken care of, she returns in about midway through the events of episode 5 at the school assembly shortly before the first midterms. As a result, the entire school, with the exceptions of, well, with the only notable exceptions being the dean and Principal Asano, they're all basically drawn in to watch this show because of the after effects of the time travel.
Mm-hmm.
As of now, it's reached the third to last episode of the anime. The latest update was last month. It seems to be updating once every month, once every 2 months or so. And there's plans for them to write a similar fic reacting to the spin-off from Assassination Classroom with Kora Sensei as the main villain, something video game-ish. I haven't seen it myself. After this one. So yeah, I've read it from the top. It's really quite entertaining. So that's my recommendation.
Alright, fair enough. I guess that's an episode. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, my voice strained there. My voice is a mess. Yeah, so that's the podcast. Thanks for listening and stuff. Public Discord exists in the link in the description. Patreon exists, link in the description. This is pretty much it.
Rabbits.
Rabbit.
You know, we added a channel about rabbits, and I don't think you've ever been in there, patient. In fairness, I think there's been like 6 posts in there. Rabbits. So now that I'm looking at it, I am very glad about that fucking gif of the guy getting buried in rabbits. It's